One of the most iconic names in Premier League history. A guy who started scoring goals when he was practically just a kid and became a legend. Yes, today is the day to dive into the epic journey of Wayne Rooney, the boy from Liverpool who became one of the greatest goal scorers in the history of English football. We're going deep into this guy's life, from his childhood in the suburbs to the days when he dominated the Premier League pitches like a box monster. You're going to find out how Rooney emerged at Everton still looking like a teenager, how he shocked the world with a historic screamer against Arsenal, how he became an absolute icon at Manchester United, won everything there was to win, broke records, and fought with everyone and everything to make sure his name would go down in history. We're going to talk about his first steps in football and his humble childhood in Liverpool, his early explosion at Everton, the blockbuster transfer to Manchester United, the golden era with Alex Ferguson, the titles, the goals, and the controversial moments, the final phase of his career and his return as a manager. And of course, how Wayne Rooney forever changed the way the Premier League saw English strikers. But before we dive into this spectacular story, go ahead and smash that like button to support the channel and show you're with us on this journey through one of the greatest chapters in European football. Done that? Then get comfortable, because now it's on for real. Come with me, because this story will give you chills down to your last strand of hair. Wayne Mark Rooney was born on October 24, 1985 in Croxteth, a working-class neighbourhood. In Liverpool, son of Jeanette and Thomas Rooney, Wayne grew up in a family of Irish descent, with deep roots in England's working-class culture. And let me tell you, if there's one thing people in that environment breathe from a young age, it's football. From childhood, Rooney was obsessed with the ball. He and his brothers, John and Graham, would turn any patch of grass, street, or backyard into a battlefield. And of course, like any proper kid from Liverpool, he grew up supporting Everton, the real club of the city, according to the Rooney family. And trust me, that detail is going to matter soon. So remember it. At just 9 years old, Rooney was already dazzling in school tournaments. A scout from Everton saw him playing for a team called Coppelhouse Boys and was blown away by his strength, speed and, above all, his football intelligence. It was like the kid had been born knowing how to read the game. At 10, he joined Everton's youth academy, and that, my friends, marked the beginning of a giant. In Everton's youth teams, Rooney absolutely destroyed opposing defences. In a single season, he scored 80 goals. Yes, you heard that right. 80. That made his name start to circulate behind the scenes of English football, even before he turned 15. His professional debut came early, very early. On October 19, 2002, not even 17 yet, Rooney was called up to play against Arsenal. And my friend, what a debut! Arsenal was on a 30-game unbeaten streak in the Premier League. People thought the team was unbeatable. But then, in the 90th minute, Rooney received the ball outside the box, spun past his marker, and launched a rocket with his left foot into David Seaman's top corner. The English commentator shouted, "Remember the name, Wayne Rooney," and that line became legendary. At that moment, English football stood still and said, "This kid is going to make history." From then on, Rooney became a guaranteed starter at Everton. Even at such a young age, he played with a passion and maturity that left veterans stunned. And let me tell you, that was just the warm-up. In 2004, during the Euro Championship, Rooney introduced himself to the world. Wearing England's shirt, he was the undisputed star of the group stage. He scored against Switzerland, tore apart Croatia. It looked like England had finally found its next big hero, but then came the injury. Against Portugal, Rooney hurt his foot and had to come off. Without him, England was knocked out on penalties. Even with the elimination, all of Europe knew Wayne Rooney was the next jewel of English football. And that's when Manchester United entered the picture. Sir Alex Ferguson, the legendary Red Devils manager, had already been watching the kid for a while. And after the Euros, he wasn't going to wait any longer. United shelled out $27 million to sign Rooney from Everton. A stunning amount at the time, especially for an 18-year-old. But did he live up to the hype? My friend, he didn't. Just live up to it, he exceeded it. In his debut for Manchester United, Rooney immediately scored a hat-trick against Fenerbahce in the Champions League. 3 goals on his debut, on Europe's biggest stage. That's not normal. That's the kind of thing only someone born to be great can do. From that point on, Rooney became a key figure in Sir Alex Ferguson's team, playing alongside names like Cristiano Ronaldo, Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes and Rio Ferdinand. He formed the backbone of a squad that would dominate English football for years. But what made Rooney so special? It wasn't just his eye for goal, it was his commitment. Rooney was the kind of player who'd challenge defenders, track back into midfield, help out wide, play as a target man, create chances, and still show up in the box to finish. He was basically a one-man army, and it wasn't uncommon to see Rooney sliding into tackles in the 90th minute, even when the match was already won. He played with heart, with anger, with passion, and that energy electrified entire stadiums. Now take a deep breath, because we haven't even started talking about the trophies, the controversies, the World Cup moments, and the records this guy broke in the Premier League. But that is for the next part. Even in his early years, wearing the Manchester United shirt, Rooney made it clear he wasn't just another promising talent. He was different. While other young stars got lost in the spotlight, Rooney treated football like his life's mission, and that became clear in the 2005-2006 season. Even though the team was still in transition, Rooney finished as United's top scorer with 17 goals. He was already a technical and emotional leader on the pitch, and let's not forget, he was just 20. But it was in the 2006-2007 season that United came roaring back. With the arrivals of players like Nemanja Vidic, Patrice Evra and Michael Carrick, and with Cristiano Ronaldo improving with every match, Sir Alex Ferguson's team became unstoppable again. Rooney was instrumental in that season's Premier League title. Manchester United dethroned Jose Mourinho's Chelsea and returned to the top of English football. Rooney scored 15 league goals, but more than that, he played a direct role in shaping the team's aggressive attacking style. And that's when the dominance began. Manchester United won the Premier League 3 seasons in a row, 2006-2007, 2007-2008, and 2008-2009. And in all of those campaigns, Rooney was absolutely decisive. But there was one night in particular, a night no United fan will ever forget. Moscow, May 21st, 2008, Champions League final, Manchester United versus Chelsea. The atmosphere was tense, it was raining, the Luzhniki Stadium was packed. And even though Rooney didn't score that night, he ran like a madman, fought, battled, and became the symbol of the team's determination. In the penalty shootout, Manchester United won and lifted the Champions League trophy. It was the peak of that era. And Wayne Rooney, lifting the most coveted trophy in Europe, proved he wasn't just an early blooming prodigy. He was a complete champion. And you know what's even crazier? Even in a team where Cristiano Ronaldo was flying high, it was Rooney who carried the load in the toughest matches. He was the one throwing himself into tackles, sacrificing tactically. He was the balance between skill and grit, talent and sheer willpower, but it wasn't all sunshine. Rooney also had his turbulent moments. In 2010, the first major crisis with the club hit. With his contract nearing its end, he gave an interview saying he no longer believed in United's direction and wanted to leave. It was a bombshell at Old Trafford. The fans were furious. Banners calling him a traitor appeared at training. The atmosphere turned heavy, but Sir Alex Ferguson, with all his wisdom, didn't let the bomb go off. He called Rooney in for a chat, man to man. And just days later, Rooney signed a new contract with United. A massive deal, sure, but he stayed. And once again, he proved why he was essential. And if anyone thought Rooney was declining, the 2010-2011 season was a slap in the face. Rooney scored one of the most iconic goals in Premier League history. It was the Manchester derby, United versus City, a tight match, tension through the roof, cross into the box, and Rooney unleashes a stunning overhead kick into the top corner, a cinematic goal. The stadium erupted. That goal was later voted the best goal of the Premier League's first 20 years. That was Rooney. When the world doubted him, he answered with magic, and by that time he was already etching his name into the club's history. He was closing in on the goal record held by none other than Sir Bobby Charlton. Yes, the greatest legend in Manchester United history, and Rooney kept going step by step, goal by goal, until he passed him. In January 2017, against Stoke City, Rooney scored his 253rd goal for the Red Devils, becoming the all-time leading goal scorer in Manchester United history. Think about this. A kid who started at Everton, who exploded onto the scene at 17, was now the all-time top scorer for one of the biggest clubs in the world. That's insane, and it doesn't stop there. Rooney also became the all-time leading goal scorer for the England national team. In September 2015, he reached 53 goals for England, surpassing the legendary Bobby Charlton in that category too. And mind you, the competition was tough. But the most curious thing is that, even with all those records, all those trophies and wonder goals, Wayne Rooney was still a player who divided opinion. Some said he could have been even greater. That he lacked focus, that injuries held him back, that he got into too many off-field controversies. But the truth is simple. Rooney changed the history of the Premier League. No debate. He redefined the role of the modern forward. He showed that a number 10 can also be the hardest working, most combative, most committed player on the pitch. And when Sir Alex Ferguson retired in 2013, Rooney was one of the key pillars that helped keep the club going through the transition period. But every legend has a final chapter. All right, so let's close out the journey of this beast called Wayne Rooney in style. After winning pretty much everything with Manchester United and writing his name in history as the club's all-time top scorer, Rooney started reaching the final chapters of his Red Devils career. In 2017, after 13 years wearing United's colours, he announced his departure. It was an emotional moment. Fans from all over the world paid tribute. After all, he was part of a golden era. And not just any era. 15 trophies, including 5 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, and much more. But Rooney wasn't ready to hang up his boots just yet. He decided to come home. That's right. In 2017, Wayne Rooney returned to Everton, the club where it all began. It was a comeback full of nostalgia and excitement. And yes, he even left a few more respectable goals behind. He even scored one of the most beautiful goals of his career in an Everton shirt, a shot from midfield against West Ham. An absolute stunner. Pure class. It looked like something straight out of a video game, but time catches up with everyone, right? After that season at Everton, Rooney decided to take a new step. He moved to Major League Soccer in the United States. He signed with DC United in 2018, and guess what? He wowed America. Even at an older age, Rooney played with passion, insane vision, and that classic striker's instinct. There was one play in particular that went viral worldwide. He chased down an opponent on a breakaway, made a sliding tackle, won the ball back, launched a long cross from midfield, and delivered a perfect assist for the game winner in stoppage time. It was like a live-action movie. After his American chapter, Rooney had one more stint in England. He joined Derby County, where he took on a dual role, player and assistant coach. That's right, he was already setting the stage for his next phase, becoming a manager. And today, Wayne Rooney is a coach. He's already managed Derby County and more recently took charge of Birmingham City. He's still at the beginning of this new journey, true, but you can already tell this guy has a future on the sidelines. After all, someone who lived football with that much intensity, passion and experience has a lot to teach. And here's the beautiful thing. Rooney's story isn't just about trophies or goals. It's about identity. He represents English football in its purest form, a game of strength, grit, heart, but also intelligence, technique, and the will to win. Wayne Rooney inspired an entire generation, from the kid who debuted with a wonder goal against Arsenal at 17, to the man who became captain of Manchester United and the England national team. He proved talent has no age, fight has no limit, and legends are never forgotten. Rooney changed the Premier League's history because he was both the future and the tradition, the star who appeared with a baby face and a veteran's mentality. The player who made the simple look epic, who fought for every inch of grass like it was a World Cup final. And if you saw it, you saw it. So, did you like the video? Let me know in the comments. What part of Rooney's story impressed you most? And tell me this too, which player would you like to see featured in the next video? Could be a current star, a legend, or even an underrated icon. I'm checking out all your suggestions. Oh, and if you enjoyed this journey through the career of a Premier League legend, you know what to do, right? Smash that like button to show your support, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos, and of course, share this video with your fellow football fans. And hey, don't go just yet. There's an awesome video popping up on your screen right now that I know you're going to love. Click on it and join me for another amazing journey through the world of football. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.